My pleasure to welcome you to another launch hour session. Today, Thursday, the 6th of February, 2025. My name is Paul Erobami. I'm the MD, CEO of Max-Migold Limited and the head of faculty of the Max-Migold Training Center. Today, we will be looking at a very topic, endless possibilities in the world of facility management, an exploration into the diverse and rewarding career paths within the field, showcasing its potential for growth, innovation, and impact across industries. We started this series 3 weeks ago, where we want to take you through, answering why facility management, what's the importance of facility management, why should you be engaged in facility management, what are the benefits, the prospects, the future of facility management. And we are not done yet. Today, we want to, open your minds to possibilities within the FM world. And I hope you take back a lot of lessons. For those of you who are already practicing facility managers, whether you've been trained before or not, this will refresh you. This will, kind of open your mind to new possibilities so that you'll be able to look out of your current comfort zones as you, look forward to doing great exploits in the FM world. In addition to that, for those who are still undecided, still on the fence about a career in facility management, not sure whether this is what you want to do. Well, after today's session, I will also ask you to go back and watch our previous sessions. If you run a business, head of operations, head of a team, HRO, finance, or anyone who handles those functions within the built environment or within the core business, refer them to this series we are covering, because many don't know what they are losing for their business because they have not invested in strategic facility management. Many don't know the possibilities for profitability, for sustainability, for health and safety, for occupant well-being, and the productivity that occupant well-being brings to the business, and how that can translate not only into increased business, increased reputation, but also reduce risk, statutory and regulatory risk. Many businesses don't realize how important and strategic facility management is. So this session is not just for those who are practicing FM or those who are trying to look for opportunities in FM because they think the opportunities are there. Of course, there are endless possibilities, but more importantly, for people who run enterprises and organizations, churches, hotels, come hear the kind of things that you can achieve because of facility management. How you can turn the tide of your organization upwards towards increased profitability, increased staff, and building users' welfare and productivity, as well as improve quality of your services that you deliver for all-round development and growth of your organization. So that's what we're going to be covering in today's session. So sit tight, and I hope you can take some notes. I would like to always hear from you after every session in the WhatsApp chat group of the Max-Migold Facility Management Training. Please always come in there and make notes. Even if you don't have questions, make notes of your experiences as you engage with our sessions. Talk about how you apply some of the things we've taught you in formal training and these launch hours, and make those comments so that others can see that what we are talking about are practical and real, and it's transforming and changing the lives of people for the better, as well as the organizations they work for. So we want to hear those comments. We want to hear your experiences. Don't forget, there are only two ways you can pay it forward, what we are doing now. All of this investment in training, setting up new programs, campaigns to get people involved in facility management, try to improve the lives of people through workplace productivity training. There are only two ways you can pay it forward. One, engage with Max-Migold share our materials and our adverts, write reviews on Google and everywhere else reviews can be written in any other website. Just link up to Max-Migold. Connect and follow up on all our pages, especially on LinkedIn, and give us 5-star ratings. So that's helping Max-Migold to grow and helping us to have whatever we put out there to have more eyeballs. But then the second thing is, as you learn these things, you are not alone in your world. There are other people who can benefit from this. Invite them to these free sessions. Invite them to explore our paid training. Invite them to go to facilitimanagementcourses.com and look at the series of courses that we have lined up. More than 150 courses that you can do in 1 or 2 days and earn a certificate from Max-Migold. Beautiful certificate that you love to brandish to your employers and those you're trying to apply to, and your customers, when you try to pitch business to them. Okay, so please, we want you to do these 2 things. Engage with us, share, you like and expand our reach, and then tap into your network, share these advantages, and invite people to take advantage of what we have in Max-Migold. Okay. Good news, the FM Mastercraft 23 actually started this week. Our orientation took place on Monday by 5 p.m. and it was a fantastic session. Fantastic session, very engaging. It gives me excitement to see the future of FM. Interestingly, we are still having that demographics of people in their 40s and 50s who have already spent a lot of time in their career, and they're just realizing now that a lot of water has gone under the bridge and they can fix things, and they're coming in for the training. We also want to target the young ones, people just coming out of universities who have not made mistakes yet, who can have a career that will rise very fast. Right now, we are doing about 10-15% of people in that category. So reach out to your young ones so they don't end up as people that will depend on you in the future. Start preparing them now for a profitable career that will always have opportunities, that they will never, ever look for work. So don't stress it, don't sweat it. Studying engineering, studying any of those courses, administration, physical health education, sciences, social, don't worry yourself. What you just need to do is channel them straight into FM. Let them earn the FM diploma and get their foot on jobs immediately they leave school. They would be the future, because if we have people in their 20s and 30s, the future of FM will be secured and guaranteed. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so let's spread this word and get them in. Then yesterday, we had the first class on FM Foundation. Beautiful class. That class, just helped to explore certain practical strategies that you can apply immediately to get your FM, operations better. So imagine from day 1 of a course that's going to run for 3 months, you already can write down 10 different things that you can change in your operations. Imagine the kind of impact those changes, those improvements in your workplace can bring to your organization, and the kind of recognition and growth you can have for being able to act on those things we've taught in class 1, and we are still going to class 33. We're just getting started. So if you are still on the fence, don't sweat the decision too much. Come forward and tell us what the challenge is, what's holding you back, and let's see if we can, help in ways that will surprise you. I know we can help you in ways that will surprise you. So come forward, express interest, pay the registration fee, make a commitment, and then come to ask us for whatever accommodation you need, and you see what we can do for you. All right, so that being said, I'll get right into today's session. As you listen, as you watch me across our platforms, I want you to take notes. I always like it when people can make notes of the actions they would take because of the things they are hearing, right? Those are very positive because it moves you in the direction of implementing. And that's the only way you can practice and become, it becomes embedded in you. Okay, so that's something I take delight in. Okay, so please pay attention. At the end of it, ask questions, share your thoughts, in the platforms that we've provided, both on the WhatsApp chat as well as on the YouTube, LinkedIn pages that we have. All right, so you will understand the vast scope of FM. You'll be able to explore wide range of responsibilities and industries that rely on FM. In fact, every industry that employs people, occupies space, depends on FM. You gain insights into the various paths and advancements within the FM profession. You learn how smart technologies, automation, and AI are reshaping FM operations. It's a huge, huge world. Right now, I'm reaching you from the beautiful city of Bonny Island in Rivers State. We are working on a live smart building project where Max-Migold is actually converting old residential buildings into intelligent smart buildings of the 21st centuries and futuristic buildings. Technology to do all of this is available. And in due course, we're going to be setting up certain programs. Of course, they're going to be paid programs where we're going to teach facility managers advancements in technology, how AI, IoT, smart building technologies can be used to upgrade your current facilities, not just for energy efficiency, but also for convenience, for sustainability credits, and so many things that we get from sustainability and energy efficiency, as well as smart intelligent systems. All right, and then we'll talk about, leadership, communication, and problem-solving abilities. In facility management, the ability to take initiative, to connect, to communicate, to engage, build relationships, and be the likable person, care for people, and understand how you can impact their welfare positively is now key. In fact, this one is more important than how much you can deploy technology and how much you can do all the technical stuff and how much you can do all the management and write processes and follow processes. They're not as important as your expression of genuine care for your building users and the critical thinking that leads to problem solving. So if you are still in that stage where problem comes, you carry the problem the way it is, shove it in somebody else's throat and ask for feedback, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. Because you care, when the problems come, you always find solutions. You always communicate. Even while finding solutions, you are still communicating. So there's never going to be a gap in communication. There's never going to be a laxity on your part, that you don't own the problem and you're not trying to find a solution to it. But beyond all that, you are going to be applying a structured approach to problem solving through critical thinking and analysis. And then we'll finalize with all of those emerging trends, sustainability practices, and how you can stay ahead in the FM industry. Right, so facility managers used to be maintenance. Are we still maintenance? Maintenance is just one out of about 20 competencies and 60 different tasks that we handle. So if you're just a maintenance officer and that's all you know and do, you are still coming up in the space or profession of facility management. Because until you understand how to elevate yourself above just the rudimentary maintenance practices to strategic considerations, to people and care, to sustainability and energy efficiency, to business impacts and risk management, to effective project management, there's so much that layers over each other to build you as that effective facility manager. Let's talk about the businesses, the organizations, the estate communities, the public places that we use. Because of FM, we can have business efficiency. In fact, an FM who knows what he's doing can do a value stream map of all that goes on in the organization. Just pick out how things are done. Write it. This is how we do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then look through that and say, which of these steps is adding value or which ones are not adding value? Which ones can we remove? How many redundancies do we have that we can eliminate? How many process steps can we merge or combine? Start with your own FM processes. And you see how it's going to impact on the organization, because it's not going to just help the organization to work more efficiently. It's also going to reduce the cost of doing business for the organization. So efficiency is a huge contributor to cost savings. And then think about the impact of FM on the people, their productivity, their satisfaction. When people complain, they are not productive at the same time. When somebody is trying to hold the urine in his bladder, at that time, there's nothing he's doing that is making sense. The business starts losing money per minute the moment an individual working there is not able to be productive. So let's think about it. Sometimes in your mind, it's just one person in a group of people that have an issue. No, it is the organization that is suffering. Everybody will manage to bear your bad FM practices till close of business. Rush home to have a reprieve. But during that period, they manage to wait till the clock runs out for them to go home. The organization suffers. No productivity, no activity, no results are being achieved. Worse still, you are now negatively impacting on the lives of people. Think about the kind of smells, chemical exposure, kind of dust and mess people have to live in certain untidy environments. Do you think it's just the nose that suffers? Over the years, those accumulation of noise, pollutants that goes into the body, they manifest themselves in all kinds of illnesses. If somebody is ill, you can't get into work, can you? And you probably didn't think that FM could make people ill in the organization. What about safety and well-being? So we can talk about illnesses, build-up of poor environment over the years. We can also talk about illnesses that come out of poor working condition, like sitting arrangements that are not ergonomic or sitting for too long. Illnesses that can come from exposure to things that the body should not be exposed to, especially when it comes to cross-contamination. And then from illnesses, we can now move on to start looking at injuries, accidents, incidences that people encounter in the workplace just because of poor facility management. If somebody is injured, they can't come to work. The person has to be treated and become well before they can come to work. All right, so think about how to improve the well-being of people through facility management. Strategic FM decisions shape resilient and future-ready organizations. The organization to say, I'm ready for the challenges of this economy. You must have strategic facility management in place. So if your organization have not started investing in looking at how facility management can add value, now is the time before it's too late, because the things that they are going to encounter in this age that we're in, especially in the area of risk and people and talent management, is going to be huge. It's going to affect whether the organization survives or it doesn't. So for you, there will be virtually limitless opportunities in FM. So whether you want to be handling maintenance, operations, security, technology, finances, energy and sustainability, the entire support system that makes an organization tick, that makes them thrive. The FM can start at one level and build himself up to a higher level, encompassing multiple operational aspects. And that's why when you are in a job, don't reject opportunities to stand in for someone else. That will give you an opportunity to be trained in what that person does. You add that to your portfolio of knowledge and skill. And even if it's one day you did that job, you have done it and you can show results. Don't be afraid to take on additional tasks on what you are doing. And please be always open to learn. Don't wait for the opportunity to come first before you learn how to do something. I guess so many people call me, apply for jobs. During interview, I'm hearing I'm a fast learner. Excuse me? Learning on whose dime, ladies and gentlemen? All these months you were waiting for an opportunity to go and to interview for a job, or you're applying. You did not learn. You didn't find a way to learn. Now that you have applied for a job you are not suitable for, they are saying I'm a fast learner. Just employ me, you see I'm a fast learner. Nobody deceived anymore. No employer is a fool again. Because the moment you get into the organization, within 2 months, though that same fast learner is already complaining that the learning, what they expect him to learn is too much. That same fast learner has earned salary for 2 months while trying to learn, and is even slowing down in the learning. That same fast learner decides to start on a very low pace and make sure the performance that is expected to go up climbs very gradually and plateaus. So learn. If you're in one location, in one job, in one place for 2-3 years, and then you now come and say, hey, I've been here for years. Oh. My question to you is, what did you do with those years? There are just 2 things. Let me say 3 things. 1, were you adding value to the organization? What are the things you were doing that were exceptional, that was moving the organization towards its goals and strategic objectives because of your effort? Can you document them? Can you quantify them? Can you report on them? 2, were you adding value to yourself? It's not enough to say, it's time. It's time. It's my turn. I want to move up now. Either a promotion or I move out to another company. You can keep moving. But if you're not better than the way you were yesterday and the way you were last year, my dear, I'm sorry. You can move from fry pan to fire. So if you're adding value to yourself. And finally, are you adding value to others? Many people don't realize that even if it's just a little by teaching it, by mentoring others with that little, you are improving yourself. The process of documenting your knowledge, how you get things done, so that when others come in the organization, they can see it. You think it is not helping you, it is helping yourself. Because you can see count those ones as achievements. I set up the process for doing this while I was a so-and-so company. Where's the evidence? Look at the spreadsheet I created. Oh, look at the templates I made. Look at the reports I generated. There are even people that are not even, they have not been asked to do any report. They just told, go and stay and manage that facility. They go and sit down. When they say, come and do this. Yes, sir. They get it done. Come and do this. Yes, sir. They get it done. That's exactly what they do. They don't have a report that they are creating to show that they are adding value to the company. They don't update their CVs to show that they're adding value to themselves. And they don't have anything to prove that they're adding value to others. Not even networking or participating in professional associations. You can work for 10 years and don't have 1 year's experience. You just wasted your life for that 10 years if you're not doing these 3 things. Add value to your company, add value to yourself, add value to others around you. So, opportunities in facility management exist in every industry. Every industry. Think about it. Is there any industry that does not need space and services or don't need people to work for them? Even when people start working from home, their homes have become part of that organization. Oh, I'm working from home. That desk environment where you are working must have internet, must have power. Devices must be available. You that is working must have some kind of welfare, a good chair, toilets to use, and so on and so forth. If I were the facility manager of a company where everybody works from home, I would do an inspection on everybody's workspaces and ensure that they are compliant enough to make that place productive for the organization. So every organization needs FM. And I hear people say, oh, internet organization, tech organization, everything's in the cloud. You know where cloud is? It's in somebody's village. All those servers that you hear cloud, they're actually physical somewhere that are powered, that are cooled round the clock to ensure that that tech business, that cloud process keep running. So FM is needed in every organization. Those organizations that did not realize they need FM on time, they've suffered much before they realize it. And for some of them, they end up transferring somebody into the FM function or employ somebody who doesn't know his left from his right when it comes to facility management. And then they complain again. Even you that refuse to take a training because it's too expensive and you are doing FM job 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're wasting opportunities in your career completely in FM. So there's a lot that you can cover and a lot you can become if you take FM seriously as a career. You know, I said FM is no longer just purely maintenance because FM is now more strategic. We think about the organization's objectives and goals, and we plan based on that understanding what our own long-term objectives and goals will be for the organization. We have to be ahead of the curve, but we have to be aligned throughout the process so that where the organization is going to be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, we know we can simulate it. We can create FM plans in response to those that trajectory. So it's not enough to be holding the key to maintenance material spare inventory store or going from room to room in an estate collecting service charge. No, those are just rudimentary. They are high-level strategic things that need to be planned and worked ahead. Figure out risk management system. Figure out long-term energy and sustainability metrics and see how you can take different actions on a month-to-month, week-to-week basis to align with the growth trajectory you plan based on your strategic plan for the organization because you understand the organization strategy plan. So it's a lot of work, but it takes you wanting to open your mind to move away from the traditional scope of FM to the more strategic one. I've had interviews with some people recently, and I feel very sad. Not that they didn't even take a training, but they've been stuck in one position for so many years, no growth, no improvement. So the first thing I did is just let's sit down and analyze what happened. How is it possible that you've been stuck there for years? No growth. What happened to you? What value were you adding to the company? What value were you adding to yourself? What value were you adding to others? What kind of impact were you making? Nobody can forget a person of impact. Do you know that? You cannot be passed over. Anybody passes you over, it is lost. You'll be snapped up by those who know where they are going and what they want. Because you know what you are doing. And you're not one of those that will say, they are using me. I will not do this because they are using me. They're even asking me to go and study it so that I can do this for them or I can do this extra task. You are ruining your future. That mindset is defeatist. That mindset is mediocre. Please be used. Deliberately offer yourself. It's called making an impact, becoming a person of significance. You can never be passed over. You will never be the one that was shortlisted for exit when we are downsizing. Is it possible? Oh, they downsized because the economy was not good. Business was not coming. We used to be 15. They cut out 7 people, 7 of us. Why are you among the 7? Have you thought about that? If they cut out 14, tell yourself, I will be the one that will be standing because you are a person of relevance. You create impact because of those three things. So when you're in FM, don't also restrict yourself, especially when you are still young in your career, to, it's residential estates. Oh, it's only health facilities. No, don't do that. The more experiences you have in varied uh, uh, industries, the broader your horizon, the more your exposure, the higher your level of enlightenment when it comes to FM. So it's a whole lot for you to consider. In this case, I'm not particularly saying when you work for 6 months, you should move. No, that's not what I'm saying. In fact, if there's too much instability, too much hobnobbing in your CV, employers will think twice before touching you. So don't let that happen. But when you have worked for 3 to 5 years, for example, you're thinking thinking of a change, don't say, I'll wait until I find this particular opportunity. No, that's what I'm saying. People who have more varied experiences, they tend to do better in the Certified Facility Manager exam because they have a wider scope. And that exam is basically testing your ability to take decisions. So when it comes to organizations' response, resilience, when there's an outbreak, for example, the COVID, Ebola, whatever, everybody goes into panic mode. Most FMs who didn't know their role in strategically positioning their companies for survival were waiting for management to give them the next directive. By the time management figured out how to survive that crisis by themselves, your name will be in the list of those that will ask to go and wait first until we recover. But if you have created a system for operational stability through having an inspections program, through having a maintenance program, through having an operations program, bid plan, schedules, carefully, methodically followed and reported upon, and then having a risk plan, what we call an emergency preparedness plan, that now tries to articulate things that can go wrong. And they now start making plans for, in case the abnormal happens, how will we respond? If you are the kind of FM that have done all the basic stuff and now you have now advanced to the risk management level, before management comes up with, what do we do? You have a detailed plan to keep the organization stable, to keep it consistently producing, even in the midst of local or global breakout of any kind of risk. And if it's the kind of risk that happens beyond your control, there are so many things that will happen, just happen. And you can't really, you couldn't have had control. You couldn't have envisioned it. You have built the ability to critically think, analyze, and come up with solutions. If what keeps your MD awake also keeps you awake, the MD will be in love with you. You don't know. So while the organization is trying to change itself, trying to pivot in an economy that is unpredictable and volatile, the type we have right now, the FM is also working on how to adapt, always coming up with ideas. So you can decide to be a victim in this industry, claim that you are being underpaid. I hear people criticize vacancies. Oh, this vacancy is going to pay 90,000 naira per month. It's too low. Can you pay an FM 90,000 naira per month? I just laugh. In the same platform where somebody is looking for that 90,000 naira per month job, someone else is not taking a 1 million naira per month job. He knows what he has. So stop criticizing. Build yourself to the point where you tell people your price. And when they experience it for 1, 2, 3 months, in fact, they want to top up what you asked for. So talk about innovations that is transforming facility management. I just told you that we're working on a smart building project. What are we really doing? What are we really doing? We're not even taking out the things they have, like switches and sockets, and turning them to automatic. We are turning them to automatic switches and sockets by embedding little chips inside them. So when you hear somebody say, hey Siri or hey Google, turn on the lights, switch off this, put this music for me, and all kinds of commands, those things are already connected through Internet of Things protocol. Why would I want to upgrade my facility again today in this age and time and go and buy regular sockets and switches or a normal distribution board? They're also expensive. They're just slightly cheaper than the smart ones. Why would I want to do that? I won't bother. I will go ahead and buy smart switches, smart sockets, smart distribution boards, install them, and do the configurations through different protocol, IoT protocols. I sit down and I just take delight in, just adding the devices into the platform, add them, synchronize them to Home Assistant, move them into Google Home, bring up a 2-year platform, add devices, so many things that are now interconnected. There's so many of these things you can even get by, practicing a few DIY, few devices, test that it works. There are solutions that used to be very expensive. Industries, estates will say, oh, we want to prevent fires in the kitchen. We want to prevent machines from exploding. And then they will call these engineers. Engineers will now form very complex design and wire the place and put one box there, put one box there. I'll just be laughing. I walk in there, I put one sensor here, put one sensor here, attach one controllers to that. These are two tiny things. After adding them all to it, I pick up my phone, pim, 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 synchronize everything. As I'm here in Bonny, my office in Lagos, I'm getting an alert that one AC in the office is experiencing over voltage. I get that alert from my device here and I call the office. Pending when maintenance will be done so that we can check what's causing that over voltage. Can you please stop using that AC so we don't lose it? Predictive analytics coming from IoT. This is practical. This is not book. When you keep telling IoT, AI, you hear everybody talking about it everywhere. You go to any FM training from every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they are telling you this, telling you that, but nobody has done it. We are doing it. We are doing it real time, live, now. And we can tell you that it is not as expensive as you fear. When it comes to energy efficiency and energy monitoring, we are moving beyond energy monitoring. Energy monitoring tells you what is being consumed by that socket, by that switch, by that TV, by that fridge, so you can analyze all of them and get a sense of how much it's costing you. For example, somebody puts on a big TV in the living room. Nobody is there for 6 hours. By the time you check, you will know how much that TV being on has cost you. You will tell everybody to now schedule when you want to watch TV. Decide on the program you want to watch. Put it on at that time, put it up when you are done. We're not wasting that energy anymore because you now know. Or somebody leaves just one bottle of Coke in a big fridge. And he's traveling. There's Coke in the fridge. You leave the fridge on. When you are back, that Coke will now be worth thousands of naira because of the energy you've used to keep it. Think about it, because you know exactly what it costs. But even that is monitoring. We have moved beyond that now to IoT, not just for monitoring and knowing, but for controlling. I can now put off the fridge, put off the TV, put off my meter, put off this, put off that from my phone. Beyond that, I can now create smart scenes, smart automations beyond me remembering to do it. First it was monitoring so I can act on ground. Next is me seeing the data so I can act remotely. But beyond that, I'm at level 3 now, where I can now program the system to act on my behalf. I don't need to remember to put off outside light anymore. I don't even need a photocell sensor. My system is now being told, once it's daylight by satellite information, put off the outside light. So that photocell sensor that will be somewhere and tree can shade it, or somebody can put a banner and the banner or cloth can cover it, and the thing will now look as if it's night in the middle of the afternoon. All your light will come on as far as that sensor is covered. You have overcome that problem, because now I don't need that sensor anymore. I just write a script into my smart platform and say, once it's daylight, put off the lights. It knows. And then there are so many other solutions. Robotics. People are now doing inspections. I have done a whole estate inspection using drones. Drones are robots. I don't have to go up there myself. I inspect the entire estate. I scoped all the drainages. I mapped out, counted all the trees. If you want to do a tree trimming contract, I can now create it without having to walk through all the streets in that mini city. I can now scope all the work that needs to be done to renovate all the drainages. I can now scope what is required to paint every building externally. I can do a lot of things. I can inspect for cracks in high-rise buildings just by getting that drone to go little by little. And now there are even drones that can wash the building facade for you. And we're also exploring the possibility of being able to use it to apply paints to walls and roof very soon. There's a lot that the FM industry is undergoing right now. Bottom line is, start from where you are, but open your mind to learn more. You know that the things you search online, a pattern is created for your profile online. And the kind of news, the kind of research articles, the kind of information that is now sent to you is centered around the things you specifically go searching for. So if you're always the one looking for comedies, looking for pornography, looking for celebrity gist, looking for soccer information, all those things will overwhelm you every time you pick up your devices. But if you are the type into, I want to learn everything about tech related stuff, I want to read up stories of innovations, within 1 week of practicing those kind of searches, you'll see your feed start rolling normally. Whether it's Google or any other platform you find yourself, or Yahoo or anything, you see the kind of feed that's coming to you. Because this is what the system, the internet, has profiled you as, interested as. Even the kind of things that are advertised to you, kind of things that are advertised to you, kind of products that are advertised to you will not be tailored towards this progressive. So even if you don't have opportunity to practice it now, start from where you are by using your logbooks, creating your work order sheets, doing your counts, doing your inspections and filling templates. Start now to build the kind of data manually. Start using simple forms, online forms from Google and Microsoft to collect data and do basic analysis. while you are learning about smart buildings, robotics, IoT, AI, BIM, and all the high-tech stuff we do in FM. Install meters, basic meters that meters water, that meters diesel consumption, that, that gives you information. Use the data. Have counters that count people that come into the building and how they go out, and create trends of occupancy for public spaces. Let me talk a little bit about the critical skills you need. You must be able to lead and motivate diverse teams. Strong problem-solving capabilities. I've talked about critical thinking to solve problems. Excellent communication skills. Being able to make decisions on the fly, efficient strategic decisions, and then resolving conflicts. If you notice, all of these things are, the ones I've just mentioned, are simple soft skills that everybody needs to excel in any career. Or any career, you need those skills. Talk about staying updated with emerging technologies. Don't be the one that it sounds strange in your ear. Even if you've not done it, you've not be aware something like that exists. Search, learn, watch videos about them. Commit to lifelong learning. I was with somebody just last week. Let's go about 5 years ago. What have you learned? What have you acquired? What have you, done in 5 years? Absolutely nothing. I was horrified. At my age and level, I can't even survive 3 months without acquiring new knowledge. And yet, a young person, not yet 30, can survive 5 years of not learning anything. No evidence of anything he has acquired. I was horrified, though. Don't end up as that 70-year-old who used to be, never became something of relevance. One of the things that you will encounter in your career, and I think this is almost more like a distraction, are the problems, the common problems you will walk right into. High cost of maintenance and operations. You basically be shocked with it. You will think this is the best price for doing things, and somebody will surprise you that there are cheaper ways of doing that you didn't know. Organizations will be cutting down on your expenses because that's the only thing they understand to do in a bid to survive. And you are not able to communicate value. You are not able to cut out waste from your process through value stream mapping. And because of that, you become a victim to these problems of our industry. And then you end up struggling, not being able to provide ideas that can take you out of it. Let alone take your organization out of the problems. And then there are risk, compliance, and regulatory requirements. Many of us are moving into facilities that have not been commissioned, no certificates for the seaway, no certificates for the fire system, no certificates for the elevators. You just move in. Let's be careful. That's all I'll just say about that. Let's be careful, because when something doesn't happen, the legislation will not get to that point. It's when something happens, like when the elevator crashes, traps somebody, and somebody dies. That's when you now realize that that thing you thought you could take for granted, it's actually something that can end your career. Even for facilities you've moved into on a regular basis, have a small inspection or audit checklist, just to go and re-verify again that we're in compliance. Always. And then make sure that your team receives training, relevant training on a regular basis. Don't be a know-it-all person. Once in a while, invite others from, other organizations. Send your team for training. Pay more money for trainer. After you are paying salary every month. If you don't train them, they'll still be who they are. They'll still collect their salary. They'll still ask for a raise when it's time. I don't know why you struggle to pay for the training to upgrade them so they can do better for themselves. And I keep saying it. An employee that is doing better for himself will be doing better for the organization. It's almost synergistic. So don't be afraid to train people, because it'll be better for the organization. And then there's this naughty issue of minimum wage is now 70,000. We have to pay 70 or above to every cadre of staff. When you have worked for so number of years, you have to increase your money. And I struggle with that. Why do I struggle with that? There has to be a pairing of value and reward system. You can work in an organization for 5 years, 10 years, consistently not adding value to the organization, not adding value to yourself, not adding value to others. What are you basing your request for a raise for? I don't know. I can't bring myself to that kind of terms. So if you become disgruntled because I've allowed you for 1-2 years of not doing any of these three things, I'll ask you to leave. That's the only way. You have to leave. It's not being hard. It's just being realistic. Every organization is about bottom line. We want to make impact on people. So you can't even blame the organization for not pushing you to go and improve yourself. You can't even blame the organization for doing that, for not doing that. Let alone the organization that is giving you opportunities. Opening up, learn this, show these certificates, practice this, try your hand on that. And you're pulling back. And you're doing it with, it's not my job. Oh, I've not done this before. Oh, is this a disturbance? So they are using me. After counting years, you now come and say, people like me are earning. How do you know they are like you? Those who are earning that big money. If they are like you should have been earning that money. So let's match value that we are given to our demand. In my career, throughout my career, I have always asked for the salary I wanted. Always. I don't remember any time that I waited 3 months to get the salary I wanted. It has never happened. I deliver the value, I come to renegotiate. Can you do that? Can you show organizations that the amount you are asking for is just a small fraction of what you are actually bringing as value? Not only monetary value, customers, loyalty of customers, high rating for your organization, sustainability credits, reports that shows that you are growing in vital metrics when you're even working and not even creating any reports. You're now complaining that you're not increasing your salary. I don't understand. How will you trend that you are making impact? But finally, FM is growing. Technology is a big part of that growth. Sustainability and green building practices, in the next 5 years, they will move from innovations and ideas to statutory compliance issues. There's a growing demand for data analytics and predictive maintenance. Much of what we are doing right now is reactive and then preventive maintenance. We've not really started doing predictive. There's a huge gold mine in predictive maintenance that can come because of the data that we can collect using the various tools and analyze using the various tools. FM is now a strategic partner. The earlier your organization understands it because of the effort you have made, the better for you and the organization together. HRO was once like FM, just relegated to the background until they package themselves as a strategic partner. And then there is cybersecurity risk. FM should understand that while developing technologies or moving up in these areas, you cannot allow this risk manifest themselves. Okay. When organizations are moving towards green building certifications, sustainability metrics, improvement like net zero targets and the rest, FM should be at the forefront because your buildings actually contribute more than 40 to 50% of organizations' exposure to sustainability. So we can drive sustainability. We can also drive innovation and business growth by using data, deploying technology, sustainability, and implementing proactive maintenance practices. So that's my tankable for today. Final analysis, FM It's no longer the way it was before. It has been transformed from ordinary maintenance to strategic partner level in all types of organization. The need for FMs is growing every day. We as FMs must continually adapt to emerging trends. Begin to walk your way through from basic level to strategic leadership positions through communication, risk management, and effective planning. So that's the lesson for today. I will turn over the last 5 minutes. I see a hand up. I think you can unmute and ask your question. Leo, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cole.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I want to appreciate you for the effort and time. I mean, the class has actually been impactful. So, where I have a question is, like my job. Okay, with my profession, you understand? He doesn't want to hear that you try. What he wants is perfection, and in the process of that, I mean, actually, the building we are occupying is not like a personal building that you know where each and everything was connected to, being that you were there when it was being built. You understand? I mean, it makes it to it takes time to run the overall of the whole system. It's just maybe on a daily basis or weekly basis you discover one or two things and you decide to run a system overall. But the person you're working for,
I think you lost your audio there, Leo. I think I understand your
occupy the
question.
place.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
And when you occupy, you were not told, okay, this is here. It's on your own, you now discover them daily. So every day you now discover where there is an error, where you need to run a system overall. Here, maybe the plumbing, the lighting, whatever. But the person you're actually working for wants perfection always. So what do you do?
Good question. I always teach that you don't know anything until you know your customer's expectation.
Yes.
So your first effort is to continually communicate with that customer until you fully get under his skin to fully understand his expectation. Now, once you have that understanding, you have convinced him that you fully understand. Whenever you are creating solutions, you are also getting him to validate your approaches. Over time, you guys will now be synergistic. If you keep coming to try to do things your own way, and you are seeing that you are getting in conflict with this person because his expectations are different from yours, then you drop. You just drop. I don't know anything. I need to understand what my customer wants. That's the first thing. Okay. And then you are learning through that process. You are documenting your experiences. You are reporting in ways that provide valuable information to him. And you are communicating at every step of the way. He doesn't get any surprises. Then you are in good stead. I mean, somebody can want perfection from day one, but it is easy to spot somebody that is working towards perfection, even if that person is not yet perfect as of now. That's what you should be, the person who is working towards perfection. And the way to do that is continually gather information about the person and the person's expectation, document it, get validation. As you bring up solutions and activities or kind of options, you get the person's buy-in, and then you communicate every step of the way, and then document results and present reports that shows the person that you are making improvements. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Samuel.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I just want to ask that if we are running a facility for a sister company and their payment is not always commensurate with what we are delivering or in terms of service we are rendering, how can someone manage that?
Okay, fundamentally, there should be a contract in place before you start providing services. Okay, that's part of establishing managing expectation. What they want, you must understand and document in an SLA. Price. They would agree on everything up to payment terms. If they don't agree and there's no agreement, there's no contract, then you're going to struggle. So that's the first thing. Solve it by going back to the drawing board. Define, clarify their expectations, and then communicate the cost of providing services to meet that expectation. So people will want, all kinds of things, but when the cost becomes real to them, they'll begin to modify their expectation. But what some of us do is, because we are related, we are sister companies, we are friends, we know each other, we trust ourselves, we just take on the services. That's a mistake. So you must go back to the procurement contracting process, okay? And tidy that up and have a proper agreement and contract. Thank you, everyone. I wish you a good rest of the day and rest of the week. I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday next week. Bye-bye.